Hey everybody, welcome to my very first Plan With Me video. Today I'm going to be planning my monthly bullet journal setup for the month of May. All of my materials will be in the description box below, but the supplies I used for this month are really low-key. I used a few markers for the color, and for the fine liners I used Sakura Pigma microns. The theme that I decided on for this month are these botanical doodles. They're basically flowers and plants and leaves that are really easy to draw, and I really just used a fine liner for it, and I colored some of them in with yellow and a little bit of green and orange, as you'll see later on. For this month's font, I decided to go with this long flat cursive that I thought really complemented the floral type designs. For the plant doodles, as you can see, I basically went in and penciled everything in beforehand. I am not particularly good at drawing or doodling, so before I even put anything down on the page, I went on Google Images and I looked up easy botanical doodles. And I found some that were really simple but also really cute, so I drew a lot of inspiration from that. If you struggle with figuring out how to draw things as I do, I would definitely recommend using this technique. At the bottom of my cover page, I drew some more of those botanical doodles along the edge of the page, and then I colored a few of them in along with the doodles that are surrounding the word May. For my quote page on the left, I chose the phrase "together at home" because I thought it was really fitting for this period of social distancing, and I've seen it circulating a lot on social media. I wrote it in the same font that I used for my cover page, which I'm going to be using for the rest of this month because I just think it keeps it really cohesive. At the top of the page, I drew a little flower with one stem on each side, just to kind of fill in that white space, and at the bottom of the page I drew some more of those botanical doodles. I was originally going to draw those plants along the whole bottom of both pages, but they ended up being really tedious to draw, so I stuck to just keeping them in the middle of the notebook. The middle of this spread was pretty empty, so I threw in a little washi tape and then I added some color to the doodles at the bottom of the page. I also added in a few dots all around the doodles and the words just to add a little bit more color. To finish off this spread, I added a little bit of yellow shading to the word May just to make it pop a little bit, and that is it for my quote page and my cover page. Moving on to my calendar spread, I was looking through my old bullet journals and I realized that I haven't actually made one in about 7 months because I wasn't using them. But now that all of our classes are online, I think it might be easier to just have one page for all of my due dates and test dates. So I'm gonna do it for this month and I'll see how it goes. In terms of the sizes of my boxes, each box is 6 spaces wide and 7 spaces tall, and the thin boxes are 6 spaces wide and 1 space tall. I wrote out May at the top of the left page in the same font that I'm using for the whole month, and I wrote all the days of the week at the top in the same script. I colored the boxes in alternating yellow, green, and orange, which I think is really fun because it's more colorful than pretty much the rest of the month. I was letting my markers dry before writing the numbers in, so I added some washi tape to the top and bottom of the pages, and then I moved on to my social media trackers. As I was setting up my calendar spread for the month, I realized that I had quite a bit of extra room on the right side of the page, so I decided to try social media trackers, which I have never done before. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but basically I have one box for Instagram, one box for YouTube, and I wrote in all the dates for the Saturdays in May, and I think I'm gonna track how many followers I have so I can see how much I've grown over the month. Moving on to the last spread for this video, I am setting up my first weekly for the month. I know a lot of people use 2-page spreads for their weeks, but I just personally don't write that much stuff down. On my left page, I write the week number and the date range, and on the right side, that's what I use for the actual days and tasks that I have. I separated the page into 6 boxes, and then I colored in that bar at the top in alternating colors just like I did with my calendar. After I finished up drawing my boxes, I went to the left page of this spread and drew some more of those botanical doodles along the bottom of the page. I did the same thing that I've been doing for this whole theme, and I also threw in a few more dots around the words. After I finished numbering my boxes with the days of the week, that was pretty much it for this spread. I like making sure that my weekly spreads are really easy because sometimes what happens is I get to the end of the month and it's time for me to make my new spread, and either I'm tired of the theme or it's just been a really long week and I'm not motivated to make a super complicated spread. So this way, if I'm not feeling up to it, I can just draw 6 boxes and be done with it. Or if I am feeling more motivated, I can go all out and draw doodles everywhere. So it's really up to how I feel at the time. After I finish up with all my spreads, I like to flip back to my other pages just to see if there's any space I can fill or if there's anything else I can do to make them all more cohesive. For my calendar spread, I ended up adding a few more doodles at the bottom of the page, and then I threw in a few more dots everywhere because there's no such thing as too many polka dots, right? For the final flip through of my bullet journal setup video, I am really happy with how this turned out. I was not expecting to like these colors as much, but they ended up really reminded me of spring and like pre-quarantine cheerfulness. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all staying safe. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your journaling.